Hi, this is Patty and I'm at Al's in Woodburn this morning with Annette. Annette is going to show us how to plant an Amaryllis bulb. What are some of the secrets, Annette, to planting an Amaryllis bulb?
First thing to think about is the Amaryllis bulb itself. You want to make sure that it's firm to the touch, and worst case scenario, your thumb doesn't go through it because that's a rotten bulb and nobody wants a rotten bulb. So the minute you've chosen which color you want, how firm the bulb is, you want to make sure what you have is a very well-drained soil. I have our Owl's planting mix, our potting soil mix, which is fine. It's got lots of little pumice and perlite and things like that for good drainage, which the Amaryllis bulb needs. The next thing you kind of want to look at is the size of the container. Amaryllis bulbs, much like a lot of houseplants, like to be root bound. So you want to make sure you find the proper size container. This one, though is a nice tight fit, is a little too tight. So you'll want to go one size bigger, which I have right here. And this is kind of our 1 gallon size container. It's still tight around, but you'll notice it has much more depth. So the roots will have somewhere to go. Also keep in mind that because you have more depth, it's going to hold the water more. So you don't have to water as much. So now we go ahead and we start putting a little soil in. It will make a bit of a mess, which is okay. It's soil, it's a nursery, it's meant to be dirty. So once you have it about, I'm going to say 3/4 of the way full, test your bulb and see how far down it goes. You don't want to bury your bulb too deep. If you do that, you may have rotting issues. So you want to make sure that you've got at least 1/3 of it sitting above the container and above your soil. So it looks like I need just a little bit more because he's sitting a little deeper than what I'd really like.
So that's a good thing to know, not to bury it too deep.
Correct. You want to make sure you kind of can tease the roots. If you want to remove these wrinkled old ones, you absolutely can. They're dead, they're not going to do anything. But these thick roots are beautiful and ready to grow. So you go ahead and you just kind of wiggle them in there a little bit, and then see how the container is here, and you've got a good portion of the bulb staying above. It's exactly what you want. And you can go ahead and start filling in the gap a little bit here. Again, gonna make a mess, it's alright. Just kind of planned for it.
Great, and you're just kind of filling in the holes and tamping down just a little bit.
Yep. What's important about the tapping down is once he starts to grow up, you don't want him to be tipsy-topsy. So you don't want him to fall over. So tamping down the soil will kind of help secure the bulb.
It's a great idea.
Once you've got the soil to the level in which you want, you can, since I used a plastic container, it makes it easier to remove the bulb after it's done blooming and store it for the winter, which is why I chose a plastic container. I have a nice festive tin that it can just sit right in. It's level with the container. It's got a little bit of extra room here. Don't panic. That's what the pretty moss is for. So you can have this kind of just over the top of the container to hide the hole. Again, not covering up the bulb because you don't want it to be covered. It's just kind of a nice little nest, and it makes for a nice finished look. And you want to start planting them now if you want to enjoy them for the holiday season, because it roughly takes 6 to 10 weeks from planting to blooming.
Great.
So make sure you time accordingly.
Great, and how often do we water these?
It depends on your household. If you keep them really, really warm, you'll want to check them at least every 4 to 7 days, but you want to allow them to dry out in between. So always do the finger test, check the soil to see how moist it really is. And if in doubt, let it go an extra day because it'd rather be dry than wet.
Great, thanks so much, Annette.